Hey sweethearts! So, I asked on Instagram what kind of talky type videos you would like because, I mean, there's corona and there's not many halls going on or not much travel going on, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna respond to this question today. I will put it here somewhere. And it's how like I got into kawaii fashion, like, and what changed and what I think about it and how it evolved or whatever, with pictures, which I hope I can provide, because you know when you really cringe at yourself and then you delete a bunch of stuff, like just your. I mean, I don't think I was necessarily offensive, but it was offensive to my own eyes. Yeah. Yes, I did that, but I will try to insert pictures at least of what I have. So I guess, obviously when I got into this, I wasn't aware of what was happening yet, but I definitely, so in 2011, so like, wow, 9 years ago, I first had Tumblr and I was 14. And I'd say that was probably the epiphany of me getting into kawaii stuff. But what I do have to say, when I was like 10, so 4 years earlier, I bought my first, what I thought was manga, but it was actually a manhwa, so like Korean manga that you actually read Western way, so like not from right to left, but from left to right. And that was like some sort of fantasy manga, and definitely that's like just I started drawing manga type stuff, like figures and everything. And also I guess before, when I was like a child, my first anime was like Doremi. Actually, fun fact, I never watched Sailor Moon as a kid because I thought the German dub was incredibly annoying, and I only actually started watching Sailor Moon when I was like 17, 18. But so I had those influences a bit, and like I got my first Hello Kitty thing when I was like from my godmother, and it was like this pencil case, and I really cherished that. So I did have some Japanese influences with like pop culture type stuff, but nothing concrete yet. But then like I started drawing manga and like I guess also watching anime. So like I actually watched like the classic like Death Note, Elfen the dark type stuff, because I was always into like horror stuff or like dark shit. And yeah, then so, but that was a bit like probably pushing me towards it. Then I went on to Tumblr, and back in 2011 there was a bunch of the hipster stuff just coming out, but also a lot of like just Lolita, sweet Lolita stuff was there, and a lot of pastel stuff. And that's when I first kind of saw more of the kawaii thing, because how I was dressing as soon as I started dressing in a way, because you know when you're a child you don't really know, like you get dressed by your parent. But when I first started doing something with my fashion consciously was probably when I was like 11 and the whole emo thing was a thing, you know, like, yeah. And I was straightening my hair 5 times a day. I'm not sure if I can find pictures of that. If I will insert it. Or like that early, maybe I have some. You can cringe, please cringe at me. And like, yeah, now I do a lot of oil and a lot of stuff so that it's just wavy, and I always braid it really tightly when I go to sleep, so that, and also now it has like a bunch of oil and some hair mask in it, so that it's just pretty flat. Yeah, and I started dyeing my hair red then. I don't know if I have a picture when I was like maybe 13. And yeah, I don't know, this is really hard to structure because it was very many influences, but yeah, then I was pretty emo. I was only wearing black. I was like also listening to the type of music, always wearing band shirts. I think my first concert that I went to was Billy Talent back then, that type of stuff. And yeah, then I was always dressing super black, maybe I find it, but I did always kind of find the appeal as soon as I found in 2011 those Sanrio, like, also I always liked all the Hello Kitty stuff, you know, the crazy stuff from Japan that you see, like, oh my god, a Hello Kitty graveyard, oh my god, a Hello Kitty plane. I was always reblogging all that. Maybe you can also screenshot my Tumblr, but I've used it so long actually only when Yahoo bought it is around when I stopped. But that was still a really long time. I'm gonna look up when Yahoo bought it. I can't remember right now. But it was a long time from like 2011 till that. Like I'm sure at least when I was still from 14 till at least 18, I was using it religiously. And it was actually my favorite social media back then. And only later, where I'm most famous now on Instagram, I only started doing Instagram pretty late, and I never really cared about it before. Like I made it, I think probably in 2015 or 16, but I used it kind of like Facebook, so it was never like that serious to me, or I didn't even realize, and I only started, so I was on Tumblr all the time, so all this cute stuff, but I never really used, like, properly got into pastel back then yet. I think probably, so then there was also this pastel goth thing going on, maybe you can insert pictures, and that was, and pastel grunge, so those were all my influences, and also this Sanrio stuff and Sweet Lolita, and what I religiously loved, like, I probably discovered that in 2011, was Tokyo Fashion's Tumblr, and I still follow their Instagram account that they have to this day, because I must say that's probably my biggest fashion inspiration to this day, even though there's a bunch of other stuff, like all the emo hair colors and everything. Like I still have colorful hair to this day that was totally inspired from all the emo scene people. I still follow them, and I can look the Tumblr up, and I mean now they still, like, you should follow their Instagram, and like it has always been a huge inspiration. Like they had Decora fashion, they had like everything Sweet Lolita, and I was really, really inspired and thought like, wow, that's amazing. And that's how I like even heard about this funky fashion, because the most funky fashion I saw in real life, and also I'm from a really small town in west of Austria, where there's nothing going on, and people are still shocked to this day. Even if I come with no makeup, just for having like baby blue or pink hair, they will be like, oh my god. To this day, even though more and more people are dyeing it, at least at the fashion school, still people are really weird about it. It's really ugh. So I didn't really have people dressing this way at all, ever. Like the craziest thing I saw maybe was someone who also had a streak of blue in their hair because of emo times in like 2008 or something, but otherwise it was pretty bland and boring. But those were the first time I was like, wow, they put like so much stuff. Like I always loved how they like layered like so many things, and I like that's probably when I started getting into layering. I mean, today it's hot, so I'm not like what I'm wearing today is, I don't know, just this, and I'm just chilling at home for now, maybe probably going out later. Part is my friends got sick, and I got ready already, but she's sick today, and I'm like, because I get ready way too early as soon as I wake up, because I like to be ready. What was I talking about? Yeah, so all that, but like all the layering, I will insert pictures if I find them, all the like fluffy stuff, all the pastel colors, or like just full on pastel, because what I've also seen was like pastel goth, and that's actually the first thing I started applying to myself a bit, is like incorporating more pastel, even though I was still like fully on black. I also then, when I was probably 16, I started, like I dyed my hair white silver, which was a big trend. I always wanted to have white silver hair. I used to watch so many emos dyeing their hair, or scene girls. So all that, I watched all those people, and also I also watched Venus Angelic back then, which back then I don't know what I thought about her, but it was very fascinating. I didn't exactly agree, and I mean now I think she's actually really cool, and we follow each other. By the way, Venus Angelic follows me on Instagram. I'm such a nerd for saying this, but I got pretty happy when she followed me. I was like, wow, because I think we're the same age, and I always kind of just followed her. Like, I'm not sure, for a while I was kind of cringy, but I mean I was cringy as well, so fair. I mean, thank God I wasn't on the internet that early, like posting stuff of myself, like with a huge audience, so I don't know. Yeah, but I watched her, and I watched like all these emo people. Also, I think one of them was called, or scene people, Leader Monster Bunny, so that was also in inspo. So it's always a mix between the scene, the western scene people, and like then the Japanese stuff, and I was kind of doing all that, like doing the pastel goth, maybe you find it, and like having silver hair, and also then I got hair extensions because I completely bleached my hair for shade. Oh yeah, by the way, I had so many hair color changes, so I went from red when I was like 13 to then neon pink for the longest time, and actually my friends from back home still know me always as pink, and I guess they're now happy because I can kind of finally am back to something sort of like that, because my friend told me, I can always only imagine you're always gonna be like the pink-haired, neon pink-haired, huge black shirt wearing girl to me, and that's interesting. Yeah, so I did all that, maybe can insert pictures, and then I had like silver hair for the longest time, also blue in between, pink, blue, purple, all that, weird in-betweens, because I had no clue what I was doing. I was just doing it all myself, because obviously my parents would have not allowed it, I just did it. Like, I never would have asked, like, I just somehow, like, yeah, I got like a job, and then I just kind of like, yeah, that's all I did. And yeah, then I had hair extensions for the longest time because my hair was super short, and I finally kind of stopped straightening five times a day. And yeah, then I was like super pastel goth for a while, like with pastel stuff but still a lot of black. But then I had a phase where I was like more into this Moriki kind of, also the, how's she called, the girl who does her face, Shiro Nuri or something. I'll insert her. That was cool, and I really liked the whole layering of just white and like earth color stuff. So I had earth color white stuff, and then I was also into like stuff like Lord of the Rings, and I wanted to have Legolas hair, and I did all that for a while when I was like, I guess 17, 18. Then I started like literally for a while I was just dressing in white and beige, and I had like white silver hair. And I remember this punk guy used to know coming up to me at a party, he's like, Laura, how do you do this? Isn't it exhausting? I was like, no, it's not. I mean, it never was to me. It actually, people think, first of all, people always think I take such a long time to get ready. Then they think like my makeup and my fashion, and it's not true. First of all, I never would notice that it takes long. But what I do is I just always think about it the day before, what I want to wear, if I have to go somewhere. But if it's a day like Sunday where I'm like, don't know when I'll meet yet or whatever, then I do take my time. But if it's during a weekday when I have to go to work or uni next day, I will layer it out. I will plan everything, every accessory. I layer my makeup. I like put in order which I will use it in. My makeup, like this, takes me like 6-7 minutes if I add the glitter like I did today, and less if I just do the eyeliner. I'm really fast at doing all that because I've been doing it for a while. And if I have everything layered out, like, maybe call me disgusting, I don't shower in the morning, I do it in the evening. And also not every day, because what the hell, like, I'm sorry, but washing and showering like your hair every day is crazy. I mean, yeah, you can wash the necessary parts, whatever, that's fine, I get it, I sweat a lot. But still, it's so crazy to me, unless you have some job where you literally get really dirty. But if you work an office job, well, that's a whole nother, that I don't know why I keep going on about that, it just bothers me a lot. People are like, oh my god, what? You don't shower daily? No, I don't, what the fuck? Like, okay, call me disgusting. Yeah, So, yeah, so I did all that. And then I was like dressing all white and beige. And then I started getting a short time, I was getting into Sweet Lolita a bit, but it didn't last long. And that was actually around when I moved to Vienna. Yeah, I was dressing all white and getting some more colorful stuff slowly, but not much. But it was only super pastel colors, like blue, pink, purple, which I still kind of do, but now I also have some more neon-y type stuff. But there was really like nearly white, but had some hint of color, and I was only dressing in pastels, no black at all, except my eyeliner. My eyeliner was always there, and my roots, but I mean, that was it. And I didn't have any black detail, like even this I would be like, no. and I did that before, and then I moved to Vienna. Then also, yeah, I had silver hair for the longest time, but then I had blue again. Yeah, I had blue and pink for a long time, and then I had split hair. I had blonde, and my natural color actually let it grow out, and like had the rest that hadn't grown back yet, made like colored it like my natural hair. So I gave my hair a break from bleaching from one side. I had that when I moved to Vienna, but then I dyed it back to blue again, and I had blue for a very long time. And like yeah, also the fashion, well, I started getting more and more into more colors, and I was experimenting with that. Also like then I also was into party gear, like Pixie Lux a lot. I watched her, and just yeah, still all the Tokyo fashion, and just what I found and like put together, I just kind of combined it all. And I've been getting more into sporty type fashion as of now. So I've been into like some Adidas stuff, and also what I did start doing is try to shop more ethically, even totally a lot of stuff I have is not like AliExpress, of course not. And like going thrifting more, that's what I started doing too. Also, like, I guess, I mean now it's 2020, but in like 2018 I started getting a bunch of stuff off Mercari or Yahoo Auctions Japan, and I actually had a shopping service and was getting used stuff just from Japan. That's why I have a lot of used random stuff that I hadn't been to Japan, and now I've obviously been, as we all know. Yeah, and I just started getting more into sporty stuff, and I don't know, yeah, I hope this made sense, and I hope I can insert pictures and like inspirations, but that's where I am now. Now there's also like all the e-girl fashion, which is basically just new type of emos, which I think is cute, I like it, and like all that. And it's, yeah, now actually it's funny, now I'm getting more into having more black stuff again, which I didn't have at all for so long. Yeah, that's what's been happening, and that's where we at now. Yeah, but mainly my inspo was always very like Japanese street fashion, and also totally Chinese fashion, especially now I feel like it's more also Chinese and Korean fashion as well, because they have more of the sporty type stuff, even though now in Japan everyone is also into Korean fashion, so they're kind of like doing it back and forth. So like I really like right now the brands like WC, Wigo, and those type of people. And also I guess now, I mean, I was born in 1997, and I'm also into a lot of year 2K, like year 2000 or 90 stuff, which, yeah, because it was literally my childhood, and also like it's been back in style, and I finally have access to buying buffaloes now, which I always wanted, and there's vegan buffaloes now, which is amazing because I don't buy the leather ones, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And so I have a bunch of like J fashion, but also just 90s 2000 European fashion that inspires me, also like some 80s stuff, and also like literally the Slavic cliche of guys in tracksuits, all of that right now, sporty J fashion, Harajuku fashion, I guess, all of that together is what influences me now. And yeah, I still follow the Tokyo street fashion snap Instagram to this day, and I would credit them for being my biggest inspiration, because it was all just random people that was just living their life, going outside like this. And that's the point, because people always confuse, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do that, and that's fine as well, I'm not saying that's wrong, but a lot of people think either people only dress for like this for photos, or people don't actually go outside like this. And I don't have a special occasion. I dress like I would meet my enemy every day, and like I dress to impress myself and my enemies and other girls, not men. No, I mean, it's nice if my boyfriend likes it, cool, but I don't care. Like, I don't care. And I actually get really annoyed when people sexualize me because of like, I like wearing short skirts because they're cute, but like fuck off, man, like fuck off, really. Wow, I'm getting very charged now. Yeah, but that's about it. I probably will not edit this too much, except trying to add all the crazy pictures, because I mean, it is a talkie video. Let me know if you like this type of content. It's much easier for me to create, and it's actually quite interesting to talk about this, like, and put it in a video and put it out there. Yeah, I hope this made sense. Maybe I need to start scripting, but then I don't know if I like that. Yeah, but I have a bunch of other suggestions that I will also put up. I'm not sure if, yeah, okay. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Also, what I will do now, what the people do, is apparently there are people here who don't even know about my Instagram, just found me on YouTube. Hello, thank you for following me, or like subscribing to me is more the thing. I also have an Instagram. I also have a TikTok where I'm very active. I post on Instagram right now daily, and also on TikTok almost daily. So yeah, if you want to see more of me, that's where you can find me. My Tumblr is dead, so I haven't used it. So yeah. Yeah, but thanks a lot for watching. I hope you're doing well, and take care. Stay safe. Bye bye!